The episode continues exactly where episode 11 ended. Yoon is entangled, and a soldier is about to kill her. Ganga looks at her, and just before the soldier strikes Yoon, Ganga whistles and all his jester troops rush in to save her. They fight against the red headband soldiers, and Ganga takes Yoon and escapes. We then see the king fighting with the assassins sent by Jason in the forest. The king says, "Cook Yoon, wherever you are, please be safe." In the next scene, we see Ganga and Yoon. Yoon asks, "Who are those men in red headbands?" Ganga replies, "It's treason." Yoon asks, "Who is leading them?" Ganga replies, "It's Prince Jason. They already killed Minister Hong, and they were about to kill you too. That's why I saved you." Yoon asks about the king, "Where is he?" Ganga says he doesn't know. Yoon insists she must save him. Ganga replies, "It's best for the king if you stay safe first. If you are captured, that will put the king in greater trouble. You being alive will be the greatest help for the king." Yoon cries, "His Majesty tried so hard to restrain himself. How could this happen?" We then see Minister Hong with his subordinates. They have been informed that the Grand Queen has summoned them, so they head to her residence. On the way, they encounter Jason and his men. The minister asks, "Why are you dressed like that?" Jason replies, "It's a royal command to kill the entire Han family for committing treason." He then kills Minister Han and his allies. Jason goes to the Queen Dowager's chamber. Seeing him, she is afraid. He kneels before her, saying, "The king has gone mad in his rage. He has killed the Grand Queen and everyone in the Han family. After learning this, I rushed with my troops to the palace to save you. I fear his next target will be Prince Jinmyong. It is time for Prince Jin to ascend the throne." The queen rejects this, saying she cannot make her son the head of a rebellion. "The king is still alive, so I cannot do it." But Jason insists. The queen asks for 3 days to think about it. Jason says, "We don't have time left." His expression changes, and he says, "Must I shed more blood for you to listen? By tomorrow morning, Prince Jason will be crowned as the king of this nation." The queen asks, "How will you face the consequences when the king returns?" Jason replies, "It is almost impossible for the king to return." We then see the forest, where piles of dead bodies lie. The king's bodyguard is alive and searches for him among the corpses. He finds the king unconscious. The scene shifts to Prince Jin preparing for his coronation ceremony. Jason asks the queen to sign the royal edict to make Prince Jin the new king. Jason's men then spread news among the public that the king went mad last night, killed his grandmother and the entire Han family, and then went hunting in the forest where he died. The news spreads like wildfire. The coronation ceremony of Prince Jin takes place, and he becomes King Jin. Later, everyone congratulates Jason for their success. They say they want to see him as their king. Jason thanks them and says, "It's not even half a day since the new king's coronation, and you are already asking me to take over. Have some patience." Consort Kang asks about the king. A minister replies, "There are only dead bodies in the forest. King Li Hian has surely died." Kang tells Jason she finds it odd that Cook Yoon was alerted and ran away. Jason replies, "Soon she will die too." We then see Yoon and Gongil in hiding. Yoon says, "The king was ready to reconcile with the Grand Queen. There is no way he would have killed her." Gongil replies, "Now the king has changed overnight. We can't do anything." Yoon asks, "What will happen to the king now?" Gongil replies he has no idea. He heard you were abducted and taken to the forest, so he rushed there to save you. Yoon thinks, "So he went there for my sake." She then asks again about the king. Gongil replies, "We only found dead bodies in the forest. It is really difficult for the king to be alive. But still, I will investigate and try to find him." Yoon gives him the butterfly ornament the king gifted her and says, "If you find the king, give this to him and tell him I am fine." We then see the cooks in the kitchen worried about Yoon. GM says, "Did she really return to the future without telling me?" The cooks ask, "What do you mean?" GM replies, "She was from the future, but no one believes her." GM cries, "Please believe me." Just then, Gongil arrives and asks them how they are doing. We then see Yoon missing her time with the king. In the next scene, King Li Hian's guards attack the north gate, killing Jason's men. Then we see Prince Jason's guard informing him that they failed to kill the dethroned king in the forest. The guard promises to bring the king's head within 3 days. Jason replies, "No need. He has been dethroned, he cannot harm us." Another soldier arrives and reports that Lee Hyun's soldiers have ambushed the north gate. Jason laughs and says, "A king who has lost his throne can do nothing." Then another soldier arrives, urging him to come outside immediately. As Jason goes out, he sees King Lee Hyun. Lee Hyun says, "I never imagined it would be so difficult to enter my own home." He then looks at Kang Ju and says, "I truly wished it would not be you. I thought the things you did earlier were only out of jealousy of Cook Yun." Kang replies, "I desperately waited for this day. I will not explain myself, nor will I seek forgiveness." The king laughs and says, "One who bears the sword with a grin will eventually be struck by it." He then faces Jason and says, "Uncle, we must have a final talk." We then see Jason and Lee Hyun sitting together. Jason says, "It seems our preparations in the forest were not good enough to kill you." The king replies, "They were good, but I knew the forest well. That is why I survived." Jason asks, "Then why did you return to the palace, knowing the danger? Did you suspect me before going to the forest?" The king replies, "I only had a suspicion, but I was not sure. It was Tang Bailong's riddle that hinted it was you behind this." Jason laughs, "So those Ming chefs alerted you. But it doesn't matter, you are lost anyway." The king replies, "Perhaps heaven is punishing me for my bad deeds." Jason asks, "Are you ready to face the consequences now?" The king replies, "I have been dethroned. What more do you want?" Jason says, "I killed the Han family and the Grand Queen, who killed your mother. You should be grateful. Now you must take responsibility for it. Isn't that what you wanted?" The king replies, "Yes, once I did want to kill them. But I was going to reconcile with the Grand Queen." Jason yells, "What about the officials you brought down under the Chong banner to avenge your deposed mother's death?" The king says he regrets his actions. "These memories will forever haunt me." Jason says, "That's why I corrected everything. I killed them all. You should never have been king. It was I who was supposed to be king. I deserved it, not you." The king says, "So all of this was because you wanted to be king?" Jason asks him, "Then why did you return to the palace?" The king replies, "I had nowhere else to go. I came back to settle everything." Jason asks, "What do you want?" The king says, "Promise me you will uphold Jinmyong's reign. Then I will take responsibility and accept the punishment." Jason agrees and says he will be banished to his mother's shrine. Gongil overhears their conversation and says, "Your Majesty, how much you have changed after meeting Chef Yun." The king is then imprisoned. The right state counselor hands over Manganruk to the king, saying it is Jason's mercy. The king names the bibimbap Wonspan, which means homecoming. He then begins writing a poem on it, the same poem Yun read in the first episode that brought her to the past. Then Gongil drops the butterfly ornament. Seeing it, the king realizes Yun is alive and well. In the next scene, Gongil informs Yun that the king is alive and that he gave him the butterfly ornament, so he knows she is alive and well. Yun asks, "Will he be exiled?" Gongil asks, "How did you know?" "I heard you are from the future, so tell me, what will happen next?" Yun replies, "According to the record, he died shortly after being exiled." Gongil says, "It may happen, but we can't be sure of it." Yun tells Gongil they must save the king and asks for his help. The scene changes, and we see the king being exiled. The ministers congratulate Jason. Jason says they still have some work left, they must get rid of the king. Later, some jesters block the path. The soldiers go forward to clear the way. Seizing the opportunity, Yun meets the king. Seeing her, the king asks, "What are you doing here? Run away." Yun tells him not to worry, promising she will save him. The king says, "Don't do anything. I have a plan." But Yun insists on saving him. Then a soldier pushes her away and takes the king to exile him. After a while, they take the king into the forest, where they are about to kill him. Just as a soldier is about to strike, his guard arrives and saves him, killing all the others. The king says, "If I am right, Jason will come here himself to see me dead. Then I will end things with him so that Jinmyong's reign is upheld." Later, Jason arrives fully prepared with his men. Jason says he overestimated him, thinking the king had a large number of guards with him. Get ready to die. Just then, Yoon, along with Gongil and his troop, arrives to help the king. All the kitchen staff join as well, stating Gongil informed them. Jason mocks them, saying kitchen cooks and jesters are useless on a battlefield. A fight breaks out between them. The king and his troops overpower Jason's army, so they attack with spears. The king, Yoon, Gongil, and the others are soon trapped and surrounded by Jason's men. Suddenly, an explosion occurs, and Jang Cheon-sung appears. He asks Yoon, "Am I late?" Yoon replies, "You are right on time." Jang begins throwing grenades, helping them overpower Jason's men. The king shoots an arrow to kill Jason, but Jason pulls the right state counselor in front of him to shield himself. After Jason's men are killed, everyone begins celebrating. The king orders them to capture Jason, but Jason takes Yoon hostage. He threatens the king, saying, "Meet me at the place where we drank before your coronation. Come alone, or Yoon will die." Gongil, furious, says he will go to save Yoon, but the king insists he will save her himself. He orders the others to attack the palace, kill Jason's remaining men, and reclaim it. We then see Gongil and the royal bodyguard, along with his troops, attacking the palace and killing all of Jason's men. Gongil chases the minister who gave the command to assassinate the king in the forest and kills him. Another of Jason's ministers drinks poison to kill himself. The queen and King Jinmyong hide in her chamber, afraid of what is happening outside. Consort Kang is in her chamber when Gongil arrives. He tells her he has come to avenge his sister's death. Kang says she will not die at the lowly hands of someone like him. She pulls out a dagger and stabs herself. Gongil comes close and says, "This is for my sister," then stabs her, killing her. Meanwhile, the king rushes to save Yoon. We see Yoon tied up. Jason says, "For you, the king is willing to risk his life. He loves you so much." The king arrives, saying, "Thank God Yoon is safe." Facing Jason, he says, "No one can take Yoon from me. Even the Ming failed." Jason commands his guards to attack. A fight breaks out between the king and Jason's guards. While fighting, Manganrook falls from the king's clothes, and a sword flies toward Jason. He deflects it, and it strikes the pots near Yoon. The king, worried, rushes to her, but Jason points his sword at the king, forcing him to step back. Yoon grabs a broken piece of the pot to cut the ropes and free herself. Seeing this, the king tells her to run away, but Yoon refuses to leave him. As she descends the stairs, she finds Manganrook, which the king had just dropped. She takes it and sees that it was actually written by the king himself. She also finds the page that was missing earlier. Jason orders his men to capture Yoon. As one of the guards approaches, the king throws a sword and kills him. The king warns Jason to drop his weapon, but Jason refuses. One of the injured soldiers slashes the king's leg. Seizing the opportunity, Jason moves to attack, but Yoon intervenes, taking the blow instead. Furious, the king slashes Jason with his sword. The king holds Yoon in his arms, crying. Yoon tells him she never wanted to leave. The king yells, "No, you cannot leave." Then Manganrook begins glowing, and the weather changes. Yoon closes her eyes, indicating she is dead. The king cries out loudly. The moon turns red, and beams of light shine from Manganrook. Yoon's body begins floating above Manganrook in midair. The king cries, saying, "The book she was looking at was actually my journal." He tries to forcefully close the book, but fails. A page rips out of Manganrook and flies away as the book itself begins floating in the air. Above it, Yoon's body continues to rise. The king helplessly watches her disappear before his eyes. He cries, "Chef Yoon, I will come and find you." Jason, still alive, stands and says, "I will send you to her." Just as he is about to kill the king takes a sword and stabs Jason to death. Jason falls to the ground, and the ripped page from Manganrook lands on the king. In the next scene, Yoon wakes up in a hospital in the future. She realizes she has a wound on her back, which means she wasn't dreaming. She then tries to find Manganrook. She opens the shelf and finds it in her bag. Then her father arrives and says, "Finally, you are awake," before hugging her and crying. Later, she returns home. She recalls all her memories and time with the king and cries. She then searches history on the internet to know what happened to the king. She learns that no one found his dead body and that he went missing. Yoon realizes history has changed. She believes if she returns to Joseon, she may meet the king. So she takes manganrook and starts reading the poem, but nothing happens. She tries multiple times but fails. Heartbroken, she hugs manganrook and starts crying. Then we see a time jump of 1 month. Yoon is visiting a restaurant. The manager says they are aiming for a Michelin star and begs her to work for them. Yoon refuses. The manager requests her to at least work for 1 month until they find a competent chef. Yoon asks him to show the kitchen. After taking a look at it, she tells the manager she wants to taste the dessert. After tasting it, Yoon agrees to work for them, but only for a month. Yoon tells the manager it is impossible to get Michelin stars with this menu and that they must change it into royal cuisine. The manager asks, "Can you prepare royal cuisine as well?" Yoon smiles. In the next scene, the manager is introducing the kitchen staff to Yoon, but Yoon is stunned to see them. It's because they are the reincarnation of Cook Eom, Cook Meng, and Jeom. She is happy to see them and thinks they must be their descendants. She introduces herself, and they recognize her as the winner of the 3-star Michelin competition and are honored to meet her. Yoon says she will prepare royal Joseon cuisine infused with French cooking style. Everyone claps. Time passes, and Yoon narrates that she made dishes she once cooked in the Joseon era. Her mind is still stuck in the royal kitchen. The manager shows Yoon an article about her in which her food was featured. In the next scene, we see a man who looks exactly like Song Jae. His name is Steve. He sits at his table and orders the royal Joseon cuisine. He also asks them to bring 2 glasses of water. The waiter informs Yoon that she has an order for royal cuisine and that the customer says he is from Michelin, requesting 2 glasses of water. Yoon tells everyone to do as they normally do and not to panic. She instructs everyone while cooking. Later, the waitress brings back the food, saying he didn't like it. Yoon says, he didn't even taste it. I will speak to him. She then goes to Steve and greets him. Seeing his face, she is shocked again. She thinks, my God, it's Song Jae. Steve asks, so you are the head chef? Yoon, in her mind, thinks, still the same. She asks why he returned the food. Steve replies, it was supposed to be nature-inspired Korean cuisine, but I don't see anything related to nature in it, picking flaws in her food just as he did before. Yoon says, some people's habit of lying never changes. You didn't even taste the food. Steve replies, so you're telling me I lied without tasting it? You don't have the skills. Yoon yells, are you really from Michelin? How can someone like you become a judge? Steve stands and says, how dare you? You want feedback, right? I'll give it now. This is the worst food I've ever had. Just then, someone from behind says, if the food is really good, then I must taste it myself. Yoon is stunned after hearing the voice. It is King Lee Hyun himself, standing behind her. Yoon can't believe it's the king. Steve asks, who the hell are you? Lee Hyun replies, how dare you talk to me like that? Should I behead you with my sword right now? Steve replies, sword? You think you are a king? Have you lost your mind? The waiter takes Steve away to his suite. Steve tells Lee Hyun, today is your lucky day, and leaves. Yoon asks, is it really you? Lee Hyun replies, I promised you I would come and find you. So I did. Yoon smiles and asks about the food. Lee Hyun replies, no fun without the royal head chef. Yoon hugs him from behind, and then Lee Hyun kisses Yoon. All the kitchen staff are happy to see them. In the post-credit scene, we see Yoon grooming herself. She receives a phone call from her manager, who informs her that Steve was not from Michelin, he was a fraud. So, he handed him over to the police. Yoon replies, I knew it. Just then, she heads out of her room and sees Lee Hyun has cooked the bibimbap he promised. She asks, did you prepare this simple bibimbap for me? Lee Hyun replies, it's not simple. It is prepared by the king himself. If you don't want to eat it, then let it go. But Yoon eats it. He asks, how does it taste? She replies, it's good, but we should add some brown butter to it. Then both of them start roasting butter. Lee Hyun says, you have prepared amazing food today. Yoon asks him to get out of his king's character. Yoon then narrates, believe me or not, but this guy is from the 1500s. She then asks the king how he found her. Lee Hyun replies, it's a long story, and also, I had promised you. Yoon tells the viewers, that's not important, how he ended up here. The only important thing is we are happy together. And with this sweet moment, this drama bon appetit, your Majesty comes to an end with a happy, very, very happy, ending. If you liked my efforts for this drama, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button, and share your thoughts in the comments. The next series I will be covering will be Genie, Make a Wish, starring Bae Suzy and Kim Woo Bin, releasing on October 3rd. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. Till then, goodbye.